Hey, what's up guys? How you doing? It's a nice hot day out here in Florida. A little disappointing considering it's been colder, but I guess there's a bit of a breeze, so that's cool. But today we're getting ready to pull the engine out of the E36. If you watched the last video, you saw that we got everything pulled off here and we got it pretty much all prepped up to pull out. We just got to pull the fuel line and the heater core lines and then get it on the get it a little bit higher up on the jack stands and then pull out the rest of the transmission stuff. So after we do that, we will be pulling this out and then pulling out all the extra stuff, and then we're gonna paint the engine bay. So once that's done, we'll get ready to prep and do all that stuff. But for now, we're just gonna wait for Kent to get here, and in the meantime, we're going to tap into my coolant line like I was telling you guys about in the last video. So basically, I'm just gonna take this off and then I'm going to pull out the coolant pipe that I have attached to the engine, and then I'm going to tap it so I can fit in the 1/4 inch MPT so then I can put in this thermostat. As you guys can see, it's like extremely congested right here. Oh, hold on, let me wipe off the screen. I got coolant on it. Yeah, so as you guys can see, like we got the FPR running through here. We've got the heater core lines coming through, and we've got the wire harness coming through here. So I'm just trying to I'm gonna take as much of this out as I can and then just redo it so it's not so you know what I mean? Because that's not a recipe for success right there. Like, things are gonna get hot, things are gonna get pulled on. I'm not trying to do that. So get all that out, get this coolant pipe out, and then we're gonna tap into that. We got it out. Holy cow, that was a pain. But now I get to clean all that stuff up and get this all tapped out for the thermostat. Or the thermometer, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I just got to get this in here. So that's what we're going to do. Alright, so I got that all in there. Threaded nice. It's a little crooked, but it tightened and I put plenty of Teflon tape on it, so it should hold. I hope it doesn't leak. Maybe I should take it out and put more Teflon tape on it. Kent and Brian just ran over to Harbor Freight so they could pick up some spanners because we need a 16mm to take off the rear side of the drive shaft. So while they're gone, I'm just gonna pop off the last heater core lines, which is right here, and the other one is actually kind of a pain. You can't even see it. I can't even see it. I'm gonna get that off. So this is a little bit different of a configuration than the video I watched, but everything's similar enough so I can figure it out. So the VQ, I took off the plenum setup yesterday, and I removed all of this stuff, and I took out the coolant line like you guys saw, and I re-tapped it so I could fit in my thermostat. As you guys can see, got a little mechanical thermostat drilled into there, tapped over, runs through my clutch line hole, and then comes up into the dash. And then I reorganized all this stuff because between the coolant pipe, the fuel pressure regulator, the lines, the heater core lines, which are, here's the lower one, here's the upper one, here's the AC lines, the wire harness comes up through here, and then the stuff that drops back transmission side comes through here, and then I got the plugs for the crank sensor or the injector harness, and then the cam sensor, and then the VQ temp sensor. So there's a lot of stuff that all intersects right here, and it's a lot of the really important stuff. So I had to try to organize it in a way that, you know, not only made it easy to work with, but made it so when the engine moves or when you're driving the car, it's not gonna like crush the coolant lines or crush the, you know what I mean, the wire harness or anything like that. Cause it's, you know, as you can see, and as you heard, there's a lot of the critical stuff right here. It all intersects and runs through this area together. So now that it's organized, I'm going to finish putting the car back together, you know, so I can get the coolant system bled out, and then I can actually like drive the thing. So this is pretty exciting, and once this is done, it should be good to put in gear and, you know, drive, of course, once I throw my coilovers on. But those are here, so that's good. But we're focused on the BMW, so when I have time, more than likely after Kent and them leave and we're finished with the BMW, I'll get back to work on this, but it'll still be in the video. So stay tuned and we'll get to it a little bit later. It's out. It's out. What a pain. Look at that transmission though. Teeny tiny.
Teeny tiny.
That was a pain. It's out though.
Look at everything that needed to be done.
Look at all this.
And look at this. Tell him.
We tried to beat that out for an hour. It didn't come out.
It's not going nowhere.
That was pretty irritating, that whole assembly right there.
Yep.
I don't know if you have any tips. Let us know. I'd like to pull it off before I put the engine back in.
Please.
I'm really dirty. We're all really dirty. I don't know how Kent stays so clean. It's crazy. I probably look like I worked in a coal mine today. How you feel?
I'm ready to go home and go lay down. My back hurts.
Alright, we got the engine out. It only took all day. That was a lot. This is pretty ridiculous. I don't know, I've never actually pulled a stock engine out of a car before, so I imagine they've all got their difficulties, you know what I'm saying? So I got this with nothing in it, so that was pretty simple. But yeah, that was a lot. I think when we go and put the other block in, we'll probably leave off the intake manifold and anything that we can do to maybe slim the engine up a little bit. But the main issue was the oil pan clearing the steering shaft. So we got it out though. So now begins the prep to paint it. What color do you think Kent wants to paint his engine bay? Don't tell the folks, but
I'm not gonna tell you. Just guess.
yeah, I don't know. Take a guess.
Look at my girl's hair. What do you think I'm gonna pick?
That's not really a clue. What are Kent's thoughts?
You always do this at the end of the day and you want my thoughts.
Yeah, because this is
Today you don't want my thoughts because I'm done with the day. My energy is depleted. I'm done. Ask me tomorrow. Ask me tomorrow, player.
This is exciting though.
It is.
I'm
about to whip. Turn the camera off.
I think I'm gonna get a compression tester and see what it looks like on here before we pull off the flywheel and all that stuff. I'm curious. Yeah, I don't know. You guys already know what's up with the VQ though. We're gonna put that back together once everybody leaves, cause yeah, my day doesn't end then. But
You about to be demonetized.
alright, I'll see y'all later. So we got this all out. Tomorrow I'm going to pull the transmission off and check the condition of the clutch and flywheel. Before I pull off the flywheel, of course, like I said, I'm gonna compression test it and just get an idea of which cylinder is the one that tested bad. And then once we get it all taken apart, of course, I'll pop that piston out and see what all's going on there. So yeah, the engine bay is looking pretty good. Tomorrow Kent's going to come over and we're just gonna take off what can be taken off and then mask off anything else that needs to be masked off so we can prepare for paint. But right now I'm just gonna put the intake manifold back on my VQ and get that all buttoned up, so that's squared away and tidied up and I don't have to worry about that anymore. So we'll time lapse real quick and then we'll see you guys after, and then we'll wrap up the video. Alright, so as you can see here, I got the plenum all back on. I don't have the right bolts for the spacer, so I'm pretty sure I might have stripped out at least 3 of them. I can probably get one for pretty cheap. I know a lot of people in the area, and I also have this Kinetics here if you guys don't already know, and I need to get this cut and then welded down at an angle, and it'll be compatible with the VQ swap permanently, but it'll solve a lot of issues. Like with the current plenum setup, it doesn't clear the hood, so if I were to get an OEM Silvia hood, it's not gonna clear it and I'd have to cut out the firewall and then the hood's gonna buzz. But if I get the intake modified to fit on here, because that's the problem with the Kinetics right now, is that the intake tube comes back and it hits the firewall. So when I get it cut and bent and angled down, not only will it clear the firewall, but it'll also go lower than the hood line, so it'll clear up 2 of those issues. So I know that it doesn't do well under boost, and I know that if you're gonna boost it, you definitely gotta get it rewelded. But if I can get it cut and rewelded clean, then they can definitely reinforce it. And I know it doesn't really provide any gains, NA. I really don't care, because it looks cool. And like 30 years from now, those pieces are gonna be really hard to get your hands on. So that's the way I see it. So yeah, I'm gonna use that because aesthetically it looks pretty sweet, right? So yeah. So we got the engine where it's at right now. It should be good to add coolant to the system tomorrow. I'm not gonna do that tonight because I actually lost a whole bunch of coolant just through the leak and stuff like that. But as you can see, we got the wire harness all mounted up here. We shortened all these hoses, got them on here a little bit better so we won't have issues with that. We routed everything underneath as well because, you know, it was super cluttered through here. So this is good now too. As you can see, we got the 2 heater core lines, we got the fuel pressure regulator, the coolant lines, the fuel lines, the wire harness, everything's in here clean. So I'm thinking I might just mount this up to here and try to clean it up a little bit more, and then I'm gonna drop a heat shield in here and mount it to the exhaust where it goes, because I'm not trying to boil my gas or melt my wires or do anything crazy. So there's a little bit of an update on the VQ. You know, we're already about to do tomorrow. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.